Hello, hello, hello. This is Shiva Shavir. How you guys doing? Let me tell you a story. Story time. Story time. Let me tell you a story about this guy called Bebe. Bebe. Santos Ocasio. Bebe, my brother. When I was little, I grew up in a little town in Puerto Rico named Cataño, in the barrio La Puntilla. Puerto Rico had this lots and lots of towns and lots of barrios. And probably his story you can relate. Probably his story you can say, wow. This is before food stamps. This is before federal help. This is before anything else that the government was doing to help people out. It's my friend Santos Ocasio, Bebe, barrio boy. In the morning, we used to get up by the sound of his voice. Rellenos, alcapurrias. And the thing is, I used to be like pissed off, like, fudge, this guy's waking me up this early in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. Not realizing that this boy, my brother, he was about 8 years old. And he was selling rellenos and alcapurrias, some type of a fritters that made with plantains and potatoes with some meat inside. They're delicious. So he was up by 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, helping his grandma. It was just two, Doña Rosa y Bebe. They were by themselves, nobody else. No father, no mother, nobody. Just two of them living in this tiny little house. And these two, he was basically the man of the house. 8 years old. He was selling alcapurrias and rellenos. I don't remember how much were the alcapurrias back then. Maybe about like 40 cents, 30 cents each. And he needed to make up the money in order to pay for rent, for electricity, for water, all that, just selling these little fry things. And I used to get pissed off in the morning. Sometimes I said, rellenos, alcapurrias, and we're like, oh crap, here you go, wake me up. Time to get up, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning sometimes. Not realizing that this boy, he was about 8 years old. 8 years old, he was just selling this stuff. I don't think he had a childhood. He did not have an infancy. We basically took him with our family and our brothers, and we basically incorporate him into our family, doing family stuff, eating in my house, hanging out with us, playing basketball. He was an excellent baseball player. Back then. I suck at baseball. I would like basketball. But this guy, in the morning, weekends, he was just basically making the money to pay for everything, to support his grandmother. 8 o'clock. 8 years old. 8 years old. He was only 8 years old. 8, 9 years old. He started doing this thing. Rellenos, alcapurrias. So his rellenos and alcapurria was so famous in this town, in this tiny little barrio. This is what it looks like in Puerto Rico back then. Poor town, but this guy, he was just selling his way. We were famous for having las lanchas over there. He used to walk over here and sell them rellenos and alcapurria. Everybody knew him. So he was just learning how to be a man on the streets, selling. People stole his money sometimes. The people were a-holes back then. Well, they're still a-holes, but... This is La Plaza over there, the middle of the town. The church is next to it. This is the view that we had in my little town. So this guy, basically, he raised himself with a little help of my parents and us that we were there. He basically brought himself up, battling. And I saw him, oh my God, I saw him battling everything. He was just learning how to be a man by just looking through a tiny little window. He was in the survival mode the whole time, survival mode. He was so known over there that if you see the song Cataño at number 7. This is Marlo Rosado, La Canción Cataño. La Canción Cataño stars with a little kid singing rellenos en Alcapurcia. Let me see if I can put a little bit for you to hear it. You hear that? Rellenos, Alcapurcia. Marlo Rosado put him in the song. He put him in the song because I guess he was so part of us. My dad is too in this song. But Bebe is in the star of this song. Rellenos, Alcapurria. Marlo Rosado have won, I think, 3 Grammys right now. Jazz, salsa singer, play the piano, composer. He works with the best of the best out there. And this kid, Bebe, impact him for him to put him in his album. Imagine that. Bebe, one of the stories that I saw, this guy, he was a tough mofo. Bebe was tough as hell. But he always was fighting for that. He just got out of Puerto Rico because I guess the drugs and the crime in this tiny little town. That's one of the reasons I left my town. He was a tough mofo. He looked for the American dream. He got out of the town. Now, this is him. He's in Philly. He finally got his restaurant going. Those are the alcapurrias on top. The one on the bottom is just basically empanadillas. I guess he's making some mondongo there. So if you guys have a chance and you're in Philly, go and see him. That's his address over there. La Cocina de Bebe. Those are the people who are working there. Unbelievable people. 268 West Ontario Street, Philadelphia. If you have a chance, go and see him. Go and say hi. And say, you know what? This is the kid that at one time he was fighting, supporting his grandmother. Just him and his grandmother. 8 years old. No infancy. He's been fighting his whole freaking life. Finally got his restaurant now. Go and say hi. Give him a hug for me. This is Chevy Shavir, and that's my buddy, Bebe, Santos Ocasio.